Boom, people, welcome in. Let's talk about what I believe is the easiest fund to start. And I was actually with my dad last night. We were just talking about this. We had my cousin on the phone, and we're talking about funds. And this is my dad, and you guys know my dad's story. You know, he launched multiple funds, deca-billion-dollar fund manager, now retired. He always brings this up. He goes, if I was starting a fund, this is what he did. He's like, the easiest fund to start is what I'm about to explain to you right now. Most people, like my cousin, they come in and they're like, okay, what kind of fund should I do? And this is the options they kind of look at. So they go, okay, I could do something in real estate, right? Real estate's easy. A lot of people doing real estate. I could go, maybe I find a partner that's really good with real estate, and we go hit it up together. We do really well. But it's like, okay, I don't know. There's a lot of competitiveness in that space. I don't know. Hedge fund sounds really hard. I don't know how to trade unless I just go find somebody. Venture capital sounds hard. Maybe I syndicate on a few smaller deals. Like, hey, I found a cool company we can invest into. Maybe we syndicate like venture capital, which actually I've seen a lot of people do successful. So we'll put a note in that. What most people come to, I've seen so many people do this in Black Card. They go, hey, Bridger, I got this great idea. I'm going to do a fund of funds. I'm going to start a fund that just invests into other people's funds. And which there can be some credit to that, and you can totally do it. But in a traditional sense, let me just give you a few things with fund of funds. Traditional sense, fund of funds is extremely hard to do. Number one, you have increased compliance. SEC is very stringent because a fund, you're taking a fee, and then another fund is taking a fee. Okay. So and this is again a traditional version of fund of funds, higher compliance. Typically, people that run fund of funds, they're like super fund managers. These guys, this is like, hey, we ran funds for 20 years, and now we're going to run a fund of funds because we know exactly what questions to ask to place into these funds. And you're going to pay us a premium to do that. And we're going to negotiate fees down. We really know how to talk to these guys and be amazing. And again, they're hard to raise in today's market because you go pitch a family office. Hey, we have a fund of funds. You go, okay, great. Well, that's what we're paid to do. We're paid to go find good funds. I'm going to delegate that to you, and you're going to charge a fee to go find these other funds. It's a bad look sometimes for money managers because it's like, well, I'm paid to do that. And that's why the SEC has this big compliance, because they're getting charged 2 fees. Anyways, it can be kind of hard. Now, I think what most people mean when they say fund of funds is, I want to just place capital, which you could totally do. You could actually become a placement agent or go partner on another fund and just be the capital raising partner. Okay, this is another great thing you can do. Or you syndicate just one-off deals. You help on the capital raise that someone else has put together in real estate or private equity or something, and you become the capital raising partner. To do a traditional fund of funds, like that terminology, I would steer people away. And this is where most people end up. Like, okay, Bridger, then what do I do? So back to my dad. We were talking last night. He's like, this is the easy, because what you want when you're starting a fund, you want to build a track record. Right? Well, Bridger, yeah, I want to build a track record. And I'm going to, the reason they go to fund of funds, like I'm going to leverage other people's track records, right? I want to build a track record. So let me now get to what we believe is, I think, the best fund to start right at the beginning. And this is a private lending fund, or same thing, hard money lending fund. Let me explain how this works, okay? This is the first fund my dad did. This is similar to the first fund I did, okay? What you're doing here, and I'll explain why it's so great. You have a pool of money. You tell everyone you know, I have money, okay? I have people looking for money. And then what you say is, so you go you find somebody who is in a pinch. They like, oh, Bridger, I need payroll. I got to meet payroll next week. I'm working on I'm building 12 units in downtown, and we are just short $250,000, and I need some short-term cash. You say, great. Do you have any real estate that you own free and clear, or that I could buy out, that I could get a first deed of trust and that I could use as essentially collateral? To simplify this, it's just a collateralized loan. Collateral. What do you have as collateral? Well, I need 250. Yeah, I've got an asset over here, a building, and it's paid off and it's worth $400,000. I say, great. Let me go underwrite it. Let me get a good title company, make sure everything's legit. And I am going to come and put we have a contract here. And you can do it a lot of different ways. Well, it's just very simple. I'm going to give you $250,000. You have to pay me that back in 3 months. Otherwise, I take your $400,000 property. That's it. That's this whole business. Now, there's little nuances and how you charge money. You got to pay me back. And you're going to pay me back $300,000 at the end of 3 months, one payment. And if you can't pay, we're having an extension. You got to pay more money or an extension, or maybe we just foreclose and we take this property. That's it. It's so simple, and it's very needed. Every state, every industry needs private money lending and hard money lenders. And this is something you could start right now. You could syndicate, you could find a deal, someone that needs, a lot of people always need money. You start telling people, hey, I have money, and you literally find one and you just syndicate the first deal. And again, the whole crux of this business to make sure it's done well is just securing this asset. Make sure they're not lying about it. Go to a title company. Make sure it is legit. They actually own this. Not their brother-in-law owns it. Not somebody else owns this property. Okay, you own it. Additionally, what I would say, make sure it can't drive away. Some people are like, oh, I have a motor home. Well, if you come to collect, that guy could just drive that motor home to Montana, right? Or it's a car, or it's okay. Well, yeah, we'll do it with a car, but I'm gonna put the car in my garage, right? Or the mobile home in my garage. I hold it for 3 months. It's collateralized until you pay me back. And guess what? If you don't pay me back, it's my car, and I have it in my garage locked. Okay. All you're doing is collateralized loans. Typically, real estate is the easiest way to do it. Additionally, I would say it's a lot harder to do second position. I would not do second position. I would not do third position. A lot of times they'll say, well, I have a mortgage on a property, and you can do that. Well, it's like, well, if you're trying to collect, you have to pay off the entire mortgage first, and then you can take the property. So just put that into your accounting. Make sure it's a first deed of trust, first position, something they own free and clear. And guess what? If they don't have it, don't do the deal. Just go to the next deal. You'll kiss a lot of frogs. The reason this is, and we'll get in the nuance here in a second, the reason this is such a great fund to start is that you can build a track record because these loans are so quick. Instead of waiting 7 years on a venture capital fund, because it takes a lot of time for venture capital to play out, you can start building a track record in 3 months. So my dad's first funds, they were doing private money lending. This exact same thing. They would lend money. They would do loans anywhere from like $100,000 to like $3 million. That's all they did. They did first deed of trust on real estate. That's it. Kept it pretty simple. And they would just wait on money until they had a good opportunity. They'd go deploy that money. And in some cases, they had to foreclose. Almost every case, though, they didn't have to foreclose. The guy just paid them back. Ta-da. It's great. I have guys that do this on tractor rentals or other heavy equipment or buildings or commercial, whatever. It's a collateralized loan. You can do whatever you want with the $250. I just need to be paid back in 3 months. 3 months in 1 day, I am taking your property. It's a loan to own. And you might say, well, this is why it gets the name of hard money lending. It's collateralized lending, but I'm telling you, there's always demand for this. There's always people doing this in every city. And typically, just to give you more things on here, you typically charge some points and you charge a percentage. So let's say 3 months, I'm going to charge 2 points, which is 2 percentage points of the deal. So that's so if it's $250,000, I'm going to charge 2 percentage points, which would be $5,000. So it's $5,000 up front to originate the loan. And then I'm going to charge, you can do a lot of different things, but let's just say you can do 12% over a year. Now over 3 months, right? That would be 3 percentage points. So at the end, you'd be paid $5,000 plus 3 percentage points, which would be $7,500 for a total of $12,050 that you would make in 3 months here. Okay, you could do that. You could also say it's 12%, like 12 points. right? So it's, you owe me, whatever. I just want to be paid back. You structure the deal. You're the guy with the money. The he or she who has the gold rules. So you could say, hey, I want 50 grand. And we're going to charge you 2 points up front to get the legal docs done. Or I'm going to charge you 5 grand up front and 45 grand when we complete the loan. I just want to be paid. I want to be paid $300,000. Well, Bridger, I can't pay you 5 grand. I have no money. Okay, we'll finance the 5 grand. Okay, we'll put it at the end. And maybe you owe us 51,000 at the end. Okay. You structure the deal. And if they don't like it, they don't like it. Just move on. Okay. And you can go find what's other hard money lenders doing. This is, I would say market 2 and 14, something like that, 2 and 15, 2 and 16. I would say currently has been pretty market for this. If I was starting today, me and my dad both said, this is what you'd do. You do a private money lending fund, start doing deals, just get a tracker, start with small deals. Do 30 grand, 20 grand, 50 grand, syndicate money together. And then you can do a more formalized fund. This is a great way to get started. Fantastic way to get started. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me know down below if you have other questions on how to do this. Make sure it's secure. The asset is secure. If it's not secure, don't do it. Make sure it's a first deed of trust. Don't do second or third positions unless you're ready to buy out the first position. If someone is in first position and you're in second position, that means the first position has to be paid out 100% before the second position gets paid. So make sure that happens. That'll help you out a lot. Hope that's helpful. See you next video. Bye-bye.